Hello guys, welcome back. In our previous video, we have started with chapter 2.3, which talks about value of supply. So there, section 15 talks about value of supply under CGST Act. There are totally 5 subsections under section 15. We have covered 3 subsections. 15.1 talks about price, 15.2 talks about inclusions, then 15.3 talks about exclusions. There are 2 types of discounts. If conditions are satisfied, we will reduce it while calculating the value of supply. Yeah, whenever value of supply cannot be determined as per section 15.1 to 3, then we will go to valuation rules. That is what is covered in 15.4 and 15.5. 15.4 and 15.5 gives connection to valuation rules, guys. Yeah, but those 2 provisions we would be covering it in the next class. So what we would be doing in this video is we will be solving the problems on whatever we have discussed under section 15.1 to 3, guys. Yeah, so there are some problems on those topics. We would be solving problems on the same. Chalo, come to the problems, which is at the end of this chapter. Yeah, let me read problem number 1. Pay attention, guys. Samriddhi Advertisers conceptualized and designed the advertising campaign for a new product launched by New Moon Private Limited. So New Moon Private Limited is the recipients and Samriddhi Advertiser is the suppliers. Okay. For a consideration of 5 lakh. So advertisement service is given by Samriddhi Advertisers, who are suppliers, to New Moon Private Limited for 5 lakh. Okay. Next, Samriddhi Advertiser. So please see, when you are reading the question, just have an idea about who is the supplier, who is the recipient, so that it would become easy for you. Samriddhi Advertiser, who is the supplier, owed 20,000 to one of its vendor in relation to advertising service provided by it to a New Moon Private Limited. Such liability of Samriddhi Advertiser was discharged by New Moon Private Limited. That is, the liability of the supplier is paid by recipient, guys. Because Samriddhi Advertisers was supposed to pay some 20,000 to its vendor, which is paid by the recipient, which is New Moon Private Limited. Okay, so should we add it? Yes, sir. Next, New Moon Private Limited delayed the payment of consideration and thus paid 15,000 as interest. So 15,000 has been charged by the supplier to recipient for delay in payment. Should we add it? Yes, sir. But please be careful. Inclusive, exclusive. You have 2 options. Clear? And I have told you, interest, late fee or penalty, always consider it as inclusive of GST, guys. Clear? Even if you consider it as exclusive of GST, fine, but give a note for both. Clear? Let me, when we go to discuss solution, I will explain that again. Assume the rate of GST to be 18%. So they've also given the rate of GST, which is 18%. Determine the value of taxable supply made by Samriddhi Advertisers. Chalo. So what is the price they are charging for their service? Straight away 5 lakh. So this is the price. Agree na? Yes, sir. But as per section 15.2, there are some inclusions which we need to do. So liability of supplier paid by recipient. Should we add it? Yes, we have to add it. How much? 20,000. And you can see I have given a note for it. Liability of the supplier being discharged by the recipient is includable in the value in terms of section 15.2. If you know the clause, you can mention that also. That is B. 15B, liability. Okay, sir. Next, interest for delay in payment of consideration. This point is important, guys. How much interest the supplier is charging to the recipient? 15,000. I have told you, whenever possible, please take 15,000 inclusive of GST. And for that, GST rate should be given in the question. Only if GST rate is given in the question, I can assume interest is including GST. Or else if GST rate is not given, then I cannot assume what is the GST rate also. So in that case, you can assume the interest is exclusive of GST. Let me explain that. So interest is 15,000. I have given a note for it. You can observe here. Look here. The interest for delay in payment of consideration will be includable in the value of supply, but the time of supply of such interest will be the date on which such interest is received in terms of section 13.6. Okay. I've just given that additional point also. You can ignore it in the exam because they have not asked anything with respect to time of supply here, but still as a value addition, I have mentioned it. Yeah, because see, if this kind of question is asked for 4 or 5 marks, normally they may ask it for 4 marks. So there is no more adjustments here, only two adjustments. So what you can do is you can just try to connect and give one or two extra points also, if possible. If not, fine. Okay. So the time of supply for the interest would always be the date of receiving it. Okay. Such interest has been assumed to be inclusive of GST. So I have assumed it as inclusive of GST, and thus value has been computed by making back calculation. So how to make back calculation? Simple. You can show that working also. 15,000 is the interest collected. Agree na? Which is inclusive of GST. How much is GST? 18%. So 100 plus 18. How much? 118. Into 100 if you do, you will get 12,712. Sir, what about the remaining amount? That is the GST component. That is 15,000 minus 12,712 if you do, you will get some amount which is nothing but the GST part. Is that clear, guys? So what is the value of taxable supply? 5,32,712. And whenever they ask value of supply, just stop it here. They have not asked you to calculate tax liability and all. If they ask you to calculate tax liability, then 5,32,712 into 18% will be the output tax liability. But they have not asked. Normally, they will ask separate question on value of taxable supply. So you can stop it there. Is that clear, guys? But, sir, this interest, can I assume it to be exclusive of GST? Yes, you can do that also. It is also possible to assume the interest to be exclusive of GST. In that case, the value of supply will be 5,35,000. So if you consider, or if you assume 15,000 is exclusive of GST, then you will straight away add 15,000 here. You will straight away add 15,000 here, in which case the value of supply would be 5,35,000. 5,35,000. So I have given both the angles answer here. That is, if you consider inclusive what, if you consider exclusive what. But in the exam, you decide. Okay, I suggest you, if interest is there in the question and if GST rate is given, always try to consider it as inclusive of GST and give a note for it. And to be on the safer side, you can add this point also. If interest is considered to be exclusive of GST, then the value of supply will be, and give the amount. Okay, it will not take much time, guys. Fine, because see, if you are doing all this, your answer will definitely impress the evaluator. Okay, you are showing that I know both. I have not blindly added 15,000 here. I have not blindly added 12,712. I know both the aspects. If I consider it inclusive, then what to do? If I consider it as exclusive, what to do? I know it. So I'm proving it in my answer. That is how. Clear, guys? And especially in this calculations and all, to the extent possible, always give the note. Always give the note, because here what happens now? You will just add something, deduct something. So yes, the final answer you may get it correctly, but still you should explain, why am I adding it? Why am I deducting it? Which provision is telling this? Which section is telling this provision? Explain it, guys, in the notes. You can observe it in my solutions. Everywhere, to the extent possible, I have given the notes. Second problem. Let us move to the second problem now. Ms. FlowPro, a registered supplier, sold a machine to BP Limited. So BP Limited is a recipient and FlowPro is a supplier. It provides the following information in this regard. Pay attention. Price of the machine, excluding taxes and other charges mentioned below, 25,000. Okay, price is 25. Third party inspection charges. What is it? We will see. Such charges were payable by FlowPro, who is the supplier, but the same have been directly paid by BP Limited to the inspection agency. These charges were not recorded in the invoice issued by FlowPro. So they have given clear-cut clarity there. That is, it is nothing but the supplier's liability paid by recipient, guys. So should we add it? Yes, sir. As per section 15(2)(b). And whenever I am reading any point, just try to recall which section, which provision anta, along with me. So 5,000 should be added, guys. Okay, sir. Next, freight charges for delivery of the machine. FlowPro has agreed to deliver the goods at BP Limited's premises. So freight charges are charged by the supplier to the recipient because they are delivering the goods to the recipient place. Should we add it? Yes, sir. As per which section? It is an incidental expenses. Incidental expenses. Incidental expenses. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Next, Subsidy received from state government on sale of machine under skill development program. Subsidy is directly linked to the price. Should we add it? No, sir. Why? Because who is giving the subsidy? State government. If state government or central government is giving the subsidy, even if it is linked to the price, don't add it. Where is it told? Section 15(2). Subsidy. Subsidy. E. Agree? Yes, sir. Next. Discount of 2% is offered to BP Limited on the price mentioned above and recorded in the invoice. So 2% discount is given by to BP Limited, who is the recipient, on the price mentioned above and recorded in the invoice. And please pay attention here. Whenever discount is given in percentage, guys, it should always be applied on the price. Okay, don't, like, whatever you include, whatever you add, don't apply the percentage on that. Always percentage for any problem. If the discount is given in the percentage, always apply it on what? Price. Until and unless they have given something else. In the question only they have mentioned something else, means you can accordingly take it. Or else always apply discount percentage on the price which is charged for the goods or services. So if there is any incidental expenses, or if there is any expenses of the supplier paid by the recipient and all, don't apply discount on that, because discount cannot be given on that part, expenses part. Only for the price which is consideration charged for the goods or services, discount will be given. Yeah. Please write this note. Please write this note in your notebook somewhere on the top, and the margin itself you should write. Or in the material also you can add it. Note, when discount is given in the percentage, comma, such discount percentage should always be applied on, the price of the goods or services. The price of the goods or services. That is, before the inclusions, you have to calculate the discount. Means before including few items as per section 15(2), before adding those items, whatever figure is there, on that you have to calculate discount, guys, whenever percentage is given. So let me just read this point once again. Discount of 2% is offered to BP Limited on the price mentioned above. Price here means the first point, price of the machine. Okay. And recorded in the invoice. So this is the discount which is given at the time of supply itself, and it is recorded in the invoice. Can we reduce it? Yes, sir. You can deduct it as per section 15(3)(a). You can reduce it as per section 15(3)(a). Note, price of the machine is net of subsidy received. So it is net of subsidy received. So we have to add subsidy if it was provided by others. But here it is provided by state government, so we should not add it as per clause E. Determine the value of taxable supply made by FlowPro to BP Limited. Okay, sir. Let us do it one by one. So what is the price of the machine, which is given in the first point? 25,000. Then you can take the discount before or after, wherever it is. Means you can also place the discount here, no problem. First, let me explain discount part. Discount offered under section 15(3). I have given an explanation in note 4. We will see that. On what? 25,000. This is very, very important, guys. Please be careful with it. Because sometimes what students do is they may calculate it on 32,000. It will be a mistake. You should not include expenses while calculating the discount. Okay, sir. So 25,000 into 2%, it will be 500. Fine. Next, what are the things? Okay, note, let us read. Note 4, which is on discount. Discount given before or at the time of supply, if duly recorded in the invoice, is deductible from the value of supply in terms of section 15(3)(a). You can observe, I have given the section numbers also. Please try to present answer in same way, guys, so that you guys get out in your exams. Next, coming to additions, third party inspection charges, that is the supplier expenses paid by recipient. How much? 5,000. Should we add it? Yes. I have given the explanation in note 1. See, some students or in some suggested answers also, what they have done, even in I think ICSA study material and all, the explanation sometimes are given here only. Okay, but I don't suggest it, guys. Always try to give the explanations in the notes, because your answer, the main answer should look good. If you try to explain everything here only, it doesn't look good. Okay, that is what I suggest you. In the main answer, you can just give reference to note numbers, and in the notes, you explain it. Why are you adding it? Or why you are not adding it? Explain it in the note. So coming to the first note, any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to the supply, but has been incurred by the recipient and not included in the price actually paid or payable for the goods, is includable in the value of supply as per section 15.2. If you know the clause, very good, mention that also. P. Clear? I suggest you guys to remember the clauses, but still, if by chance, if you couldn't recall it in the exam, at least write 15.2. If you don't know the clause like A, B, C, D, E, fine, at least write as per section 15.2. At least you should be knowing it without any options. Clear? Yes, sir. If you write your answers along with section numbers, I tell you now, guys, there are high chances that you will impress the evaluator. Evaluator will be highly impressed by your answers. Just imagine you are the evaluator. You are evaluating the papers. 2 papers are there. In one paper, simply the answers are explained. That is, the provisions are explained without quoting any section numbers. Whereas the other question paper, the other answer sheet, the person has explained the provision along with the section number. For which will you give more marks? Out of 5 marks. You decide. Same way, guys. Try to understand the mentality of the evaluator, what he is expecting, and try to build it from now on by way of practicing it. Clear? So do practice, try to recall the sections, provisions, everything, every now and then. You will definitely be able to get it. Clear? And if by chance, if you don't know the section number, please don't quote wrong sections. Please don't quote wrong section. If by chance, if you don't know, don't quote the sections only. Don't quote the sections only. Because if you are quoting wrong sections, you are showing the evaluator that you don't know the section which you are supposed to write. Plus, you also don't know the section which you have written there. Both the sections you don't know. So that will lead to a wrong impression on you for the evaluator. Please don't do that. Yeah, yes. And one more thing, guys. See, in the exam, there are number of questions asked. So I have discussed it. You guys can watch like question paper pattern. I have updated one video on question paper discussion. The question paper pattern, how it will be asked, how many questions will be there. So where there will be a choice. Everything I have discussed in that video. So please do watch it. It will help for your preparation. Now, see, there I have discussed. Sir, should I write the first question first? Or can I answer any question? Yes, you can choose any question, guys. So for example, you are answering part 1 first. That is indirect taxes. So when you are answering indirect taxes, so assume there are 4 to 5 questions. Sir, can I answer first or should I answer anything? Whichever question you know well, start with that question, guys. For example, third question, you know the best. All the sub questions. Assume in third question, there are for 5 marks, they are asked 4 questions. For 5 marks, they have asked 4 questions. In that case, if you know all that 4 questions very well, start with third question. Clear? And please make sure that once you start with a question, means writing the answer for a question, you should make sure that all the sub questions are answered in the order. That is, for example, third question has 4 sub questions, A, B, C, D. Make sure that you are answering A, B, C, D all together, one after the other. It's not like, okay, 3A I have answered here, 3B somewhere else, 3C somewhere else. Don't do that. Clear? And start all the answers or solutions with a fresh page, guys. With a fresh page. It's okay. Sir, previous answers I have ended at the end of the page. Still 3-4 lines are there. Can I start writing there only? No. Try to present your answer. Try to keep your answers attractive, guys. Clear? So try to answer each and every new question from a fresh page. But that doesn't mean that unnecessarily you will leave the pages and all and go, because in between some students will have that practice also to leave in between the empty pages. Please don't do that. because obviously it will irritate the evaluator when he's turning the pages in between. If you have left it empty, it doesn't look good, because some students will do that. So thinking that, okay, I will write the answers for this later. Doesn't matter. See, if you know the question answers for third question, straight away start with that only. It's not like, okay, for first question I will leave first 3-4 pages blank, I will start the second question after that. Nothing like that. You can straight away start from second question only, no problem. Clear? Sometimes what happens, like for example, third question, there are 4 sub questions. You know ABC very well. C, half you know, another half you are not able to recall. So don't waste the time. You can go to the next question. So in that case, the necessary space can be left, and you can go to the next answer. Clear? That, so you will not be leaving pages together, like approximately half a page or some 1 page you may leave it maximum. Agree na? Sometimes it happens for some students, like when you're writing the answer, somewhere you will be stuck. You are not able to recall the other points. So in that case, don't be there only. So move on, no problem. So leave some space, move on to the next problem or next question. Clear, guys? Yes, sir. So second note coming. First note we discussed. Next, second point. Freight charges for delivery of the machine. So supplier is charging separately freight charges, which is nothing but incidental expenses. So should we add it? Yes, sir. I have given a note here. Since arranging freight is the liability of the supplier, it is a case of composite supply, and thus freight charges are added in the value of principal supply. It is nothing but, see, it is not the liability of the supplier, it is the responsibility of the supplier. Instead of liability, you can use the word responsibility of the supplier. Clear? So what is it? It will come under 15.3b, guys. Clear? And it is a part of composite supply, because we have discussed when goods are supplied along with the transportation, and if insurance and all is taken on transit, it is a composite supply, because maximum customers expect the goods to be delivered to their place, for which the transportation has to be arranged by the supplier. So it will be a part of composite supply. You can mention that point also. Or else simply the second note you can tell, any freight charges charged by the supplier to the recipient separately, which is charged separately, will be includable or will be added to the price to calculate the value as per section 15.2c. 15.2c. You can add this point. And for writing notes and all, there is no definite thing that you have to write like this. Just keeping the point what is given in the question and provision, just try to connect and tell why are you adding it or why you are not adding it. That's all, guys. Next, subsidy received from state government is nil. Why? Because it is provided by state government. Section 15.2e tells if the subsidy is given by the state government, even though it is linked to the price, you should not add it. So coming to the third point, since the subsidy is received from the state government, the same is not includable in the value of supply in terms of section 15.2e. 15.2e. Clear, guys? Yes. So ultimately, we are getting the value of supply as 31,500, on which the person is liable to pay tax. Clear? Yes. Sure. We'll go to the third question. Third question is an exam question which is asked in June 2019 for 5 marks. What is it? Let us see. Jitendra Limited of Delhi, a registered supplier, is manufacturing taxable goods. It provides the following details of taxable supply made by it for the month of March 2019. Okay, they have given the details with respect to the supply which is made in the month of March 2019. What is it? List price of the goods supplied, exclusive of taxes and discount. So the price charged by the supplier to recipient, 12 lakh. Okay, it is exclusive of taxes and discount. Fine. Subsidy received from central government for supply of tax. See, whenever they give list price of the goods, it is always understood that it is exclusive of taxes and discount, guys. Here in this question, they have given clear-cut clarity in the bracket. But still, even if they don't give also, you understand that. If in the question, if there is a discount, the price whichever is given in the question is exclusive of discount and taxes. Okay, next. Subsidy received from central government for supply of taxable goods to government school, directly linked to the price. Will you add it? No, sir. Why? 15.2e tells if the subsidy is received from central or state government, we should not add it. Okay. CGST and SGST chargeable on the goods. Will we add it? No. Why? Because Section 15(2)(a) tells any tax levied under any law other than GST should be added. So CGST and SGST is levied under GST only, na? So will we add it? No, sir. Thank you. Next, tax levied by municipal authority. This we will add it as per section 15(2)(a), because this tax is not levied under GST. Tax levied by municipal authorities is not levied under GST. Can we add it? Yes, sir. Next, secondary packing is charged. So anything charged by the supplier to the recipient before supply, whether it is primary packing, secondary packing, doesn't matter. So 15(2)(a), incidental C. 15(2)(c), we should add it. Okay, sir. Next, notes. Jitendra Limited offers 2% discount on the list price. That is the first one of the goods which is recorded in the invoice for the goods. So 2% has to be applied on what? 12 lakh. Next, the list price of the goods is after considering the subsidy received from the government. So the list price is after considering the subsidy, it seems. So in that case, actually we have to add subsidy, but as it is provided by the government, we are not adding it. However, the other charges, taxes, fee are charged to the customer over and above the list price. So whatever is given here is the extra thing which is charged to the customer over and above 12 lakh. Calculate the value of taxable supply made by Jitendra Limited for the month of March 2019. So this question is an examination question, guys. This is asked for 5 marks. You can see here. The answer is only this much. Add, deduct. That's all. Or for few items, not to do anything. But what is important is you have to give notes for everything. Clear? That is what important. Because if you just write this much, so some of you might ask, if you just write this much, will I get marks? Yes, you will get the marks, but not full marks. For example, this question is for 5 marks now. So you may end up getting 2.5, 3, something like that. Okay, that too, it depends on the evaluator's mode. Fine, guys. So if by chance, if you are running short of time in the exam, so this question you are attending at the end, you don't have time to write notes. Yes, in that case, you can skip the notes. Okay, I'm telling it as a last option. I'm not telling you to skip the notes. That is only when you're running short of time. Sir, last 20 minutes is left. 30 minutes is left. I have to answer some more questions. So time is short. I'm not able to complete the paper. In that case, you can skip the notes. So at least if you write the answer, you will get 2.5 or 3 or 3.5 marks. Agree? So in that case, yes, you can do it. But please make sure that for this kind of problems, you will give notes, guys. Yeah. Yes. You see, in the exam, I don't think you will run short of time. The only thing is you have to manage the time very effectively and productively, that 3 hours. So please make use of the time very effectively, guys. And for that, you have to practice a lot. Means practice writing it. So here in my material, I have given the solutions for all the problems. Yeah, but still, you guys, what you do? Take the questions, whatever questions we have solved, try to solve them, or else try to pick these questions from the question papers, or try to practice the questions from like some ICSA material or any other books. But see, whatever problems I am doing in the class is more than enough for you to pass your exams and get very good marks. But still, I want you guys to practice it. So you can take the same problems, whatever I have done in the class. Don't look at the solutions. Try to write it, guys. The writing is the only way we can practice. If you are just going through the solution, okay, everything it's has done correctly, anta. Yes, see, you will understand the provision. But sometimes when you are writing it in the exam, somewhere you will get stuck. So don't get into it, guys. So practice it. See, when your guys are studying, practicing, you can commit mistake. No problem. But you should not commit that same mistake in the exam. So what I always strongly recommend for you guys is, whatever things are done in the class or whatever problems are solved in the class, try to solve them independently. And if you do that, it's more than enough, guys. Attend the classes, watch the videos regularly. So try to fix everyday times, like this many hours I will watch the videos. And once you watch the videos, go through whatever is been done in the class and try to solve the problems independently. Much more than enough. Clear? For you to score above 60 in your exams. Clear? Because in the class, I would be covering each and every questions asked in the exams, past exams. Agree. And also some extra problems for practice sake, because on few areas questions might not be asked in the exam, but still we will be covering few problems on that, so that if by chance if it is asked in the upcoming exams, you will be able to solve it. Clear, guys? So please do all these things regularly, which will definitely help you to score good marks, guys. Chalo, one by one. List price of the goods 12 lakh. Okay. Next, I am taken discount first. So, sir, is there any order that discount I should take first or last? Nothing like that. You can take however you are comfortable. So, discount I am taking here first, because here, like, I can straight away reduce it from 12 lakh. Okay. If you take it here also, no problem. After adding all the items, because for some suggested answers and all would be given like this, like first you take price, then all the additions as per section 15.2, then discount as per section 15.3. Nothing wrong, you can follow that also, but please make sure that when discount is given in the percentage, apply that percentage on what? Price. Don't miss that point, that's all. Okay, so discount 2% of what? 12 lakh. So 12 lakh into 2%, I have given a note for it. Discount is known at the time of supply, which is recorded in the invoice. So it is deductible from the value in terms of section 15.3A of CGST Act. Okay, sir. So 24,000 is reduced, which is 2% on 12 lakh. Next, subsidy received from central government should not be added as it is received from the government. I have given the explanation also here, 15.2E. Next, CGST and SGST should not be added again. Why? 15.2A. CGST and SGST chargeable on the goods not included in the value as per section 15.2A of CGST Act. Why? Because it is charged under GST. You can also mention that as it is charged under GST. Okay. Next, tax levied by municipal authority. Can we add it? Yes. Why? Because it is not charged under GST. It is a tax charged under other laws. Tax levied by municipal authority is includable in the value as per section 15.2A of CGST Act. Chalo, last point. Secondary charge, packing charges. How much? 10,000. Should we add it? Yes. As per which section? 15.2. It is not mentioned. Let me just mention it. First, let me read the note. Secondary packing charges being incidental expenses, the same is includable in the value of supply as per section 15.2C of CGST Act 2017. And I told you guys, if by chance, if you don't remember the clause, just mention at least 15.2. Agree? Next, coming to the fourth problem. You guys can just go through this once. Whenever I solve any problems, you can just pause the video for a moment, go through the solution, and then you can continue with the video. Yes, guys. Let us go to the fourth one. Decide the following transaction in the context of GST law. It was a December 19 question paper problem for 5 marks. When would a discount be excluded from the value of supply? Will secondary discount issued for goods supplied be reduced in determining the value of supply? So this first point is purely, it is a theoretical question. You need to explain it. Which section you need to explain here? 15.3. Okay. Next, determination of value of supply when TCS under Income Tax Act 1961 is charged separately in the invoice. I have given a note for section 15.2A. This point is on that. Actually, this question is on circular. Okay. So, should we add TCS? No, sir. As it is an interim levy which is levied under income tax, which is collected from seller by the buyer, it should not be added. There is a circular on the same. Chalo, let us cover this. There are 2 sub questions here, one by one. Both the discount I have explained it here. As per section 15.3A, value of supply shall not include any discount which is given before or at the time of supply, if such discount has been duly recorded in the invoice issued in respect of such supply. Okay. Second one, as per section 15.3B, value of supply shall also not include any discount issued after supply, if such discount is established in terms of an agreement entered into at or before the time of supply and specifically linked to a relevant invoice and input tax credit as is attributable to the discount on the basis of document, that is credit note, issued by the supplier has been reversed by the recipient of supply. What have I done here is just explained whatever is given in section 15.3a and 15.3b. That's all. Because here it is purely a theory question. That's all they have asked. No problem, nothing. So as such, GST law does not distinguish between secondary discount and primary discount. They are not told what should you do with primary discount, what should you do with secondary discount. They are not told what is primary, what is secondary, what is the difference between them. They are not told. So what they have told is when discount is given, is it recorded in the invoice? Is it agreed? Is it ETC reversed? So you need to check where it falls, whether in A category or B category, and accordingly decide whether it has to be reduced or not. Is that clear? Next, in the present case, if the secondary discount is issued after the supply, normally secondary discount is something which is given after supply. Supply is completed and does not fulfill the condition laid down under section 15.3b, it shall not be excluded while determining the value of supply. Means you will not reduce it while calculating the value. Okay, just write it. Don't straight away write secondary discount will not be reduced. No, you have to explain the point. Secondary discount, if it is the supply which is given after the supply has been made, sorry, if it is a discount which is given after the supply, and if the conditions given under section 15.3b is not satisfied, then it will not be reduced while calculating the value of supply. In other words, different angle. The value of supply shall not include any discount by way of issuance of credit notes except where it is covered by section 15.3b. Clear? So the value of supply shall not include, means it will be reduced, any discount by way of issuance of credit note. So if you have given any discount by issuing credit note except where it is covered by section 15.3b, means you have to, that is, they are trying to connect it to 15.3a. So this line I don't suggest it because it might be confusing also for you as well as the evaluator. Better you can stop the answer here only, guys, at this paragraph. Yeah, you can also mention, so if by chance for a secondary discount, if the supply was agreed at the time of supply, and if the credit with respect to the discount is reversed by the recipient, then it can be reduced while calculating the value of supply as per section 15.3b. You can mention that point like that instead of writing this last paragraph. Okay, now coming to the TCS part. Section 15.2 of CGST Act says that value of supply shall include any taxes, duties, cess, fees and charges levied under any law for the time being in force other than under GST, SGST, UTGST if charged separately by the supplier. This is what section 15.2 clause 8 tells. Agree? But there is a circular telling the CBIC has clarified that for the purpose of determination of value of supply under GST, tax collected at source, that is TCS, under the provisions of Income Tax Act would not be included as it is an interim levy not having the character of tax. Hence, TCS charged under Income Tax Act is not includable in determination of the value of supply under section 15. And you guys see in the exam, when you have explained the answer, the final conclusion or answer, you can just underline like this in the pencil. In the pencil. Sure. Now let us go to fifth one. Fifth question is again an examination question which is asked in June 21 for 5 marks. Actually in June 21, on this topic, they have asked question for 14 marks. 14 marks, 2 5 marker and 1 4 marker. On this value of supply only, including the rules part. So, from the following information, determine the value of taxable supply as per the provisions of section 15 of CGST Act 2017. Contracted value of supply excluding GST, inclusive of cost of primary packing 25,000 and protective packing at the request of customer 15,000. This question is interesting. Please be careful. Contracted value of supply excluding GST is 12,50,000, but it includes 2 expenses. Cost of primary packing 25,000. Should we add it again? No, it is already included. Should it be added? Actually, yes, but as it is already included, we will not add it again. Agree? Now, packing charges is as per incidental expenses as per section 15 to C. Okay. Next, Protective packing, again incidental expenses, which is 15,000 rupees. So totally 25 plus 15, 40,000. It's already included in 12 lakh 50. So should we add it again? No. These two items actually has to be added as per section 15 too. But it is already added. So will you add it again? If it was not added, then I would have added it. For example, if 12 lakh 50 was excluding these two items, means I would have added it separately. See how they have given this question. Please be careful, guys, because students by mistake they may add again 25 plus 15. You should not do it because 12 lakh 50 already includes this 40,000. Clear? Yes, sir. Next, weightement charges shown separately in the invoice, 9,500. Should we add it? Incidental expenses, yes, add it. Then commission paid to local agent on the instruction of supplier. So supplier has asked the recipient to pay commission to the local agent. So recipient has paid it. How much? 5,000. Should we add this? Yes. Next, last one. Freight and insurance charges paid by recipient on behalf of the supplier. So recipient has paid supplier's liability because normally supplier is the one who should arrange the transportation and insurance. Who has paid it? Recipient. So is it like supplier's liability paid by recipient? Yes. Should we add it? Yes, sir. Okay. One more item. Prompt payment discount. Okay. Means if you pay within some time, prompt time payment. Because especially when there is this credit sales and all, there are chances of bad debt and all. Agree? Where the supplier is not able to collect the amount from the recipient. So if there is a prompt payment, discount indicated in the invoice is 1%. If payment is made within 1 month, the buyer availed the discount. Sir, this is the discount which is covered under section 15(3)(b). But they have told indicated in the invoice. Indicated in the invoice is different, recorded in the invoice is different. So this is a discount which was agreed at the time of supply, that if the payment is made within 1 month, 1% discount will be given. So it is indicated in the invoice, means somewhere in the note, somewhere in the bottom it is disclosed that if payment is made within 1 month, discount will be given at 1%. Clear? Whereas 15(3)(a) discount is different. It will be recorded in the invoice. For example, in the invoice itself, they would have recorded like this: price 1 lakh less discount at 10%. They would have recorded like this. This is 15(3)(a) case. Agree? Whereas 15(3)(b) case, they have indicated it somewhere in the note. They have told you will get 1% discount if the payment is made within 1 month, or somewhere at the back, like that. Yeah. So please be careful. Don't get confused with that point. Okay. One by one. Contracted value of supply, including cost of primary and protective packing. So it is including of that. So you should not do anything. Take as it is. If you are not supposed to add it, so assume primary and protective packing charges, you are not supposed to add it. So what will you do? You will reduce it from 12 lakh 50. But in this case, you are supposed to add these two items, but it is already included in 12 lakh 50. So don't do anything. Just give a note for it. Yeah. Let me read this note. As per section 15(2)(c) of CGST Act 2017, incidental expenses including commission and packing charged by the supplier to the recipient of supply should be included in the value of supply. Weightement charges shown separately in the invoice should also be included in the value of supply as per section 15(2)(c). And you can just add a point here for this. Here for this point. It is already included in the price. Just you can add the point there. It is already included in the price. It is supposed to be added, but it is already included in the price. Whereas weightement charges is separately charged. So even that is an incidental expenses. So add that. Where is it? Weightement charges. Yeah, here. 9,500. And discount 1% is given on price, including the packing. Yes, no problem, because price is including that. Always we will charge discount on price. In this case, it is inclusive of some things. No problem. Straight away take on that only. Okay, if expenses are given separately, In that case, we will take only on price. But your price includes primary and protective packing. We have to take on that. No problem. Okay. So 12 lakh 50 into 1% discount, because as the payment is made within 1 month, the recipient will be getting the discount. So I have given a note for this. You can see. As per section 15(3)(b), any discount issued after the supply, if such discount is agreed at or before the time of supply and specifically linked to the relevant invoice, and input tax credit is as attributable to the discount has been reversed by the recipient of the supply, is deductible from the value. In this case, they are not given whether it is reversed by the recipient and all. So I have also given one more line. It is assumed that input tax credit has been reversed by the recipient of supply in this case, because only if it is reversed, we will reduce it while calculating the value. But in the question, they have not given any clarity. So that is why I have added this line also. Clear? Yes. Next, weighment charges we already discussed. Commission paid to local agent on instruction of supplier, note 3, 5,000 added. Freight and insurance charges paid by recipient on behalf of the supplier, add it. Why? Both of these points are covered under section 15(2)(b, guys. That is liability of the supplier paid by recipients. So as both of them are related to same point, I have given one general note for both put together. Any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to the supply but has been incurred by the recipient and not included in the price. So it is not included in the price. So what should we do? Add it. Actually paid or payable for the goods is includable in the value. So these two items, what is that? Commission and freight and insurance paid by the recipient should be added. Clear, guys? Yes. So this is all about the problem number 5, which is again a 5 marker. Yeah, let us see the next question. From the following information, determine the value of taxable supply as per the provisions of section 15 of CGST Act 2017. Contracted value of supply of goods, including GST, please be careful. So 11 lakh is including GST, 18%. So what should you do? You have to exclude GST, because we are calculating value, means value should not include GST, because GST will always be levied on value. Clear? Yes, sir. So 11 lakh is inclusive of GST. So we need to do some reverse working and remove GST part. Okay. Next, the contracted value of supply includes the following: cost of primary packing 25, cost of protective packing at recipient's request for safe transportation 15, design and engineering charges. Everything should be added. As per which section? 15(2)(b). All three. 15(2)(c). Incidental expenses. Okay, sir. Other information. Commission paid to an agent by the recipient on instruction of the supplier. Should we add it? Yes. Freight and insurance charges paid by recipient on behalf of the supplier. Similar to last question, guys. So will we add it? Yes, as per section 15(2)(b). That is the liability of the supplier paid by recipient. Both the cases, 5 and 75,000. Give reasons with suitable assumptions where necessary. Okay, sir. We'll give it. Contracted value of supply of goods, including GST, 11 lakh. Okay. Cost of primary packing, cost of protective packing, and design and engineering charges. I have not added it. Sir, you told you should add it. Yes, you should add it. But 11 lakh already includes it. You can observe here. The contracted value of supply includes the following. So what is the contracted value? 11 lakh. It already includes 3 items. What are those? 25, 15, 85. So should we add it again? Actually, you have to add these items as per section 15(2)(c). But contract value or the price? Contract value is nothing but the price, guys. So they may use different names. So you need not get confused. So it already includes this amount. How much is that? 1,25,000. So should you add it again? No. Okay. It is similar to this point. Yeah, this one. 5th one. Similar to that. 12,50,000 already included. 25 plus 15. Primary packing and protective packing. Na? Similar to that. Okay, sir. So that is why we will not add these 3 items. So I have given a note for it. You can see here. Note 1 and 2. As per section 15(2)(c) of CGST Act 2017, cost of primary packing and protective packing at recipient's request for the safe transportation charged by the supplier from the recipient shall be included for determining the value of taxable supply. It should be included. Since it is already included in the value, no treatment is required. It is already included in the contract value, so again don't add it. Next, as per section 15(2)(c) of CGST Act, any amount charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of supply of goods at the time or before delivery of the goods shall be included in the value of taxable supply. It should be included in the value. Hence, design and engineering charges shall also be included in the value of taxable supply. But since it is already included in the value, no treatment is required. Very similar to first note. Yeah, yes. And can I combine both this and give one note? Yes, you can do it. Because both are related to one section, 15(2)(c). And for both, the treatment is same. So you can combine both and give one note. Like how we have done in the previous problem. Okay, these three items done. Next, commission paid to agent by a recipient on instruction of supplier, 5,000. Should we add? Yes. And it is not inclusive. Please be careful. It is given as a separate point. You can see other information. So this is not already included in the contracted value, guys. Clear? Yes. Next, freight and insurance charges paid by the recipient on behalf of the supplier. How much? 75,000. Okay, we will add it. Both. I have given the note here. As per section 15(2)(b) of CGST Act 2017, any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to such supply, but which has been incurred by the recipient of supply and not included in the price actually paid or payable for the goods shall be included in the value of supply. In simple, supplier's liability paid by the recipient. Okay. Thus, commission paid to an agent by the recipient on the instruction of the supplier and freight and insurance charges incurred by the recipient on behalf of the supplier shall form part of value of supply. See, in this point, I have clubbed both the points, both the items. Okay. So you will get total 11,80,000 and they have clearly given whatever they have charged is inclusive of taxes. So tax is already charged. So what should I assume? 11,80,000 also is inclusive of tax here. Okay, that is the total amount. So I need to do reverse working and remove GST. So 11,80,000 is included GST. What is the GST rate? 18%. So you can do like this. 11,80,000 is 100 plus 18%. 118 into 18. I want to calculate GST part. So how much is that? 1,80,000. So if I remove that, what is the value of taxable supply? 10 lakh. Sir, should we do this? Actually, in the exam, they've asked value of taxable supply in the question. I need to find out here. So if you stop here, you will not get full marks, guys. So please do calculate GST and remove that, as the value which is charged already is inclusive of GST. Yeah, and even this 5,000, 75,000 also will be assumed as inclusive of GST only, because already GST is charged now. Agree? So even that amount will be considered as inclusive of GST. So you will get 11,80,000, which is total value inclusive of GST. So remove GST from that, and you can again see on 10 lakh the supplier is liable to pay GST. How much? 18%. If you calculate, you will get GST same 1,80,000 only. 1,80,000. So supplier is liable to pay totally 1,80,000. So if by chance if he is short paid, whatever remaining amount is there, he has to pay it. Along with, if by chance if there is any delay in the payment of that only, assume. So who is he? The supplier has paid only 1,70,000 tax. He has not paid remaining 10,000. In that case, the remaining short payment of 10,000 has to be paid by the supplier at the earliest. And if there is any delay and all, even interest, late fee, penalty would be charged by the department. Yeah, but with respect to this part and all, don't worry. You will stop your solution here only. Clear, guys? And for GST, I have given one note. As per section 15(2)(a) of CGST Act 2017, value of supply shall not include any taxes or cess levied under CGST, SGST, UTGST and GST compensations to States Act if charged separately by the supplier. Okay, means other taxes should be included, but whatever, see this, if charged separately by the supplier should not come here actually, because this is the point for other taxes. Any taxes, leave it under any law. If it is charged separately by the supplier, it has to be added. But other than the tax, whatever is charged under GST. Yeah. So 11,80,000 was inclusive of GST. So remove it and calculate the value of taxable supply as per section 15. Yeah, this is a bit challenging. That is why this question is not an examination question, but still I have taken it because you should understand, if by chance if this kind of things come, what you have to do. Chalo guys, we'll go to the next question. This question is a bit interesting. They have tried to merge 2-3 things here. Let us see. UDP, pay attention guys, interesting question. UDP Builders Limited had undertaken a project to construct a residential tower in Jaipur having 100 apartments or flat. Okay, they are constructing an apartment or tower where there are 100 houses or flats. Okay, the builder has entered into an agreement to sell a flat of carpet area of 1800 square feet out of 100 flats to a customer, Shiv Charan. So the builder is the supplier, Shiv Charan is a recipient who is purchasing a flat which is constructed by the builder. Okay, the breakup of the cost and charges of the flat as per the agreement are as follows. Price of the flat including apportion value of cost of land, how much? 84 lakh. So building including land which is apportionate thereto, means below the flat there will be a land. So a part of that will also be owned by the person. See, this is what the flat apartments and all. Clear? They would have constructed hundreds of flat on the land. For every owner of the flat, they will give a right for the land. A part of the land, I can tell. Yeah, okay. So including land, you have paid 84 lakh. Okay, please pay attention. Prime location charges. Extra charges for getting garden and swimming pool view, which is 4 lakh. So this is there because many of the apartment will do lake view, forest view, or nature view, or swimming pool view, something like that, and they will charge some extra amount. Okay, even people are crazy about it and they pay for it. We want to enjoy the nature from our house or from our balcony or from our window, so something should be visible, view should be good. Yes, so they're charging 4 lakh for it extra. Club membership fee, club to be formed after completion of construction, which is 5 lakh. So club membership fee is different. It is not merged with the building because that will be formed only after the construction is completed, and it is a separate supply. It is a supply of service. Okay, separate supply. Next, stamp duty for executing the sale deed on actual basis. So a stamp duty of 6 lakh is charged for the sale deed to transfer the property from builder to Shiv Charan, who is the recipient. Then document charges 2 lakh. Maintenance charge to maintain building till the residential complex is handed over. So till the building or flat is handed over to the buyer, there will be a maintenance charge of 4 lakh. The builder had received a payment of 25 lakh on agreement. Please pay attention. This is the catchy point here. The builder had received a payment of 25 lakh on agreement, and balance amount of the value of flat to be received after obtaining the completion certificate for the corporation. What did you understand from this? A part of the consideration, total amount is like 84 lakh plus something. Okay. A part of the consideration, which is 25 lakh, is received before the completion certificate is obtained. So can I tell it is a sale of pre-constructed building? Yes, sir. Why? Because a part of the consideration is received before obtaining completion certificate. Because see, a building is said to be constructed earlier of 2 days, the date on which the completion certificate is obtained, or the date on which the property is first occupied or possession is taken, whichever is earlier. So here definitely possession is given later. So here completion certificate is obtained, and before that 25 lakh rupees advance is received at the time of agreement. So can I tell it is a sale of pre-constructed building? Yes, sir. If it is a sale of pre-constructed building, is it a supply? Yes. Supply of what? Refer to schedule 2. Supply of services. supply of services. Very important point, guys. Why? Because sale of land is always covered in negative list. Okay. Sale of building, that to constructed building, if it is sold after the construction is completed, that is if the entire consideration is received after the construction is completed, then it is covered in negative list. But in this case, it is sold, or it means I can tell pre-construction building is sold. So it is not covered in negative list. That is schedule 3. It is a supply, and it is a supply of services as per schedule 2, read with section 7. So let us discuss. The value of the land is 1/3 of the total consideration for the supply of flat. And should we pay tax for it? No. While calculating the value of supply, exclude the land part. Why? Land is a non-taxable event or non-taxable supply under GST. Land is always covered under negative list. Agree? Yes, sir. If land is rented out, only a right is transferred. It is a supply of services. But if land is sold, it is covered under negative list, guys. Please be careful with it. See how they have tried to frame the questions, because they have tried to connect 2-3 points here. Compute the value of taxable supply in respect of flat so sold by the builder to the customer Shiv Charan for the purpose of GST. Actually, the question is on section 15 only. But if you don't have the knowledge of schedule 2 or schedule 3 or even composite supply, because it is all these are a part of composite supply, so we need to identify it. So if you don't know those topics, what is schedule 3, what is negative list, what is covered there, or what is composite supply and all, you will not be able to answer this question. Question might be on section 15, but they've tried to connect it for different provisions, guys. Chalo, we will look at the answers now. Very interesting question actually. Computation of value of taxable supply under GST of the flat. Price of flat including land part, which is 84 lakh. Okay, should we add it? Yes, sir. Prime location charges. So it is a part of your supply. So is it a composite supply? Yes, sir. Because is it a part of your supply? Yes, 4 lakh. We have to add it. So what is it? We will see. Note. Extra charge for getting garden and swimming pool view charges are part of construction service of flat being naturally bundled, hence included in the value. Clear? I am not telling it is a composite supply as the separate value is given, but they both are part of the same thing. Clear? You are buying a house where this view is there, and if you want to buy it, you have to pay for it. So 4 lakh has to be added for the value of supply. Okay. Next, club membership fee or stamp duty for executing the sale deed on actual basis. We should not add it. Why is it? I have given it a note. Given a note here. Club to be formed after construction is completed. So not a part of construction service. It is not a part of construction service of flat. So if you want, you will pay it separately and get it. So altogether a separate supply. Being neither part of composite supply or not naturally bundled. So it is not a part of construction service. So you will not include it here. It is a separate supply and it might be an optional also for you. Club membership might not be mandatory for everyone. So if you want, you will pay for it extra and get it. So will you add it here? No, it is altogether separate supply. We will take care there. Okay, it is not a part of construction service. Next, stamp duty for executing sale deed on actual basis. Will we add it? Note 3. No. Why? Stamp duty does not form part of value of service. It is only a reimbursement of expenses incurred on behalf of the customer. Hence, not to be included in the value. So this actually stamp duty there only means this is like how they have given in suggested answer clarity. Stamp duty is not paid actually. Whatever the supplier has paid, he has just collected it from the recipient. That's all. Normally, it will be paid by the recipient. Stamp duty and all will be paid by recipients only. It will be paid by recipients only. I will try to give a different angle for this. You can also assume this as a part of 15(2)(a). That is any tax levied under any law other than GST, which is like separately charged. So can we think it is a part of 15(2)(a) and add it? Yes, you can do that also. But if by chance, if you are doing that, please give a note for it. Both the angles is fine for me because see, this is what the suggested answers as given. Fine, if you write like this, stamp duty also is okay, or else if you add and tell, it is an item which has to be included in the value as per section 15.3a, that is also, sorry, 15.2a, that is also fine. Yeah, because stamp duty they are not clearly given for executing the sale deed. Stamp duty for executing the sale deed on actual basis. So normally it is like paid by the supplier, he will pay it and recover it from the recipient. Clear? So that is why they have told it is not added. But I feel somewhere, as it is a tax charged under other law, not under GST, you can also add as per section 15.2a. But if you are doing that, please give a note accordingly. Next, document charges. It is a part. It is a part of supply of service, because if you have to transfer the ownership of the flat, documentation has to be done. Clear? So it is a part of construction. It will be like a part of it. So you have to add 2 lakh. Next, okay, note also I have given it. Let us go through it. Document charges are part of construction service of a flat and hence included. Okay, sir. Next, maintenance charges to maintain a building till the residential complex is handed over. So till the building is handed over to the buyer, that is Shiv Charan, a maintenance charges is charged. How much is that? 4 lakh rupees. So should we include it? No. Why? Maintenance charges not a part of construction service, being neither a composite supply nor naturally bundled. So they are not supplied together. So it can be taken as a separate supply. Hence not to be included in the value. So you can consider it as a separate supply. So in this supply, don't merge it. Clear? Both club, what is that? Club maintenance, club membership fee and maintenance charges. It is not a part of construction service. So you first, it will be treated as a separate supply and there you will pay tax, but don't include it under construction service. Is that clear? Okay. So total consideration after adding all the items, whatever is required to be added, how much you are getting? 90 lakh. 90 lakh. And you can observe this point. They are told the value of the land is 1/3 of the total consideration for the supply of flat. For the supply of flat. So we should remove that 1/3 part. Why? Because land is not taxable under GST. So consider value of land or undivided share of land being 1/3 of the total amount charged. So total amount is 90 lakh. So 1/3 of that, remove it, 30 lakh. So what is the value of supply of construction service? You can also mention construction service is 60, it is construction service, not composite. Construction service is 60 lakh on which the builder will be liable to pay tax. Is that clear, guys? Yes. And also you can add one more note here. You can just write it down. You can just add a note and write it down here. Sale of land, sale of land is not taxable under GST, is not taxable under GST, is not taxable under GST as it is included in the negative list, as it is included in the negative list as per schedule 3, as per schedule 3. Yeah, one more note, this is also important, so try to give this note also in the exams. One more note, guys. Sale of building before the construction is completed is taxable under GST, and it is a supply of service in bracket you write construction service, and it is supply of service in bracket construction service, close the bracket, as per schedule 2. As per schedule 2. Yeah, full stop. Next line. Next line. In the given case, a part of the consideration that is rupees 25 lakh, part of the consideration that is rupees 25 lakh is received before obtaining the completion certificate by the builder. Before obtaining completion certificate by the builder. Full stop. Hence, it is a pre-construction building. Hence, it is a pre-construction building. Is that clear, guys? I feel somewhere this notes also is important, so please try to give it also. So as I told, this is a bit challenging. Please see, there are some separate expenses given. What is important for you is you should identify whether it is a part of construction service or not. Especially your prime location charges and document charges and all is a part of your supply. So it will be added while calculating the value of supply. Whereas club membership fee and maintenance charges, it is a separate supply. It is supply actually, but it is not a part of construction service. It is a part other supply, separate individual supply, for which GST would be charged separately. Clear? So while calculating the value of supply for the sale of building, don't include it. Don't include it. So that is why, because see, they have clearly asked in the question, compute the value of taxable supply in respect of flat so sold. So they have not asked you to consider other things and all. So in respect of flat so sold by the builder, so if there is anything which is separate other than building, like club membership fee, that and all is separate. So you don't include it here. It is a supply but taxable, but as a separate supply, as a separate individual supplies, guys. Is that clear? Yes. Come on, guys. How's the Josh? So we have some more problems, but this problems is actually on valuation rules, which we will cover it in our next class, guys. So come on, what and all we have covered in today's class? Section 15, 1, 2 and 3. 3 subsections. We have 2 more subsections which we would be covering it in the next class, guys. So we have some more things. So 15 subsection 4, section 15 subsection 4 and 55 give reference to the rules which we will discuss in the next class, guys. Until then, take care, study well and enjoy, guys. Bye. Take care.